Welcome back to Eco Era. If you've been following our series, you've seen fruit flies take flight and dogs become cosmic celebrities. But today we're climbing the evolutionary ladder to meet the primates who boldly went where no monkey or human had gone before. That's right, we're talking about Ham and Enos, the chimpanzees who proved that space wasn't just for the birds and the dogs. They were the original primate pioneers, and honestly, they probably had more job training than most interns. At least they didn't have to fetch coffee. Let's kick things off with Ham the chimpanzee, the first primate in space. Ham was no ordinary chimp. Born in Cameroon in 1957, he was named after the Holloman Aerospace Medical Center, the facility in New Mexico where he trained. And yes, he's proof that even chimps have cooler resumes than most of us. Worked at NASA beats summer intern any day. Maybe we should all start adding space-adjacent experience to our LinkedIn profiles. Bonus points if your profile pic includes a tiny astronaut suit. Ham's training was intense. Picture this, a room full of chimps learning to pull levers and press buttons while wearing makeshift space diapers. It sounds like a toddler's birthday party, but it was actually groundbreaking science. NASA needed to see if living beings could handle tasks in zero gravity, and Ham was their top recruit. He was like the chimpanzee version of Tom Cruise in Top Gun, but with less flying and more snacks, and thankfully no aviator sunglasses. Can you imagine him in aviators, though? Instant movie deal. Here's where it gets bananas, literally. Ham wasn't just sitting pretty in his capsule. He was trained to perform tasks during the flight. He had to press a lever within 5 seconds of seeing a blue light, or he'd get a mild electric shock. If he did it correctly, he got a banana pellet. Talk about pressure. Imagine your boss saying, "Do your job right or you'll get zapped." But hey, here's a snack. Honestly, Ham deserves an award for Employee of the Month, or at least a golden banana trophy. On January 31st, 1961, it was go time. Ham was strapped into his capsule aboard the Mercury Redstone 2 rocket, and the countdown began. And just like that, Ham became the first chimpanzee in space. The flight lasted about 16 minutes, but it was no joyride. Ham experienced over 6 Gs of force during launch, and even some unexpected weightlessness. Imagine your first roller coaster ride, but at 5,800 miles per hour. No wonder he looked so grumpy in his post-flight photos. Let's talk about the capsule itself. It wasn't exactly luxury accommodations. Picture a tin can with a seatbelt and some wires. Ham's suit, however, was state-of-the-art. For 1961, it protected him when the capsule briefly lost pressure. That's right, Ham survived not just space, but also a close call with engineering glitches. If he could talk, he'd probably say, "Next time, upgrade the safety features, okay?" Despite these challenges, the mission was a success. Ham's quick reflexes showed that primates could perform tasks under the extreme conditions of spaceflight. NASA scientists were thrilled. Ham, on the other hand, probably just wanted his banana pellets and a nap. If he had a Yelp page, he'd probably give the whole experience 2 stars. Great snacks, terrible commute. After his mission, Ham became a national hero. He was celebrated across the country, and his survival paved the way for human spaceflight. But let's not forget, he didn't sign up for this gig. He was drafted. Ham's story is a mix of triumph and ethical debate. Did we have the right to send him, or was he a vital part of scientific progress? It's a question that still sparks conversations today. Ham probably would have just asked for a better benefits package, maybe free bananas for life. Ham spent the rest of his days in comfort, first at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C., and later at a zoo in North Carolina. He lived to the ripe old age of 26, a true space legend. And if you're wondering, no, he didn't get a parade, but he did get a lot of media attention and probably a lifetime supply of banana pellets. Imagine explaining that retirement plan to your financial advisor. What are your assets? Well, 300 banana crates. That's the story of Ham, the first chimpanzee in space, but we're just getting started. In the next part of this episode, we'll meet Enos, the chimp who took things to the next level by orbiting the Earth. Enos's mission paved the way for John Glenn's historic orbital flight. So, make sure you hit that like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to Eco Era, and turn on notifications. It really helps us out, and we're dedicated to bringing you more stories that are out of this world, literally. Welcome back to Eco Era. In the first half of this episode, we met Ham, the chimpanzee who became the first primate in space and proved that even chimps could handle the high-stakes world of space exploration. But Ham's story was just the beginning. Today we're diving into the incredible journey of Enos, the first chimpanzee to orbit the Earth. If Ham opened the door to space for primates, Enos kicked it wide open with a little extra flair, probably thought, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it in style. Let's rewind to 1961. The United States was still locked in a heated space race with the Soviet Union. While the Soviets had sent Yuri Gagarin into orbit earlier that year, the US wasn't ready to send a human into orbital flight just yet. Instead, they turned to Enos, a 5-year-old chimpanzee who was about to make history. Little did Enos know he'd be single-handedly representing American primates against Soviet cosmonauts. Talk about pressure. It's like being the only person on your trivia team who actually knows the answers. Enos's training was even more rigorous than Ham's. He spent months learning to perform tasks under simulated conditions of weightlessness and high G-forces. Picture this, a chimp in a tiny suit surrounded by flashing lights, levers and buttons, figuring out how to keep calm while spinning in a centrifuge. It's like putting your dog through astronaut boot camp, but with way more banana rewards. And let's be honest, every time Enos saw those levers, he was probably thinking, do I get paid overtime for this? On November 29th, 1961, the big day arrived. Enos was strapped into his specially designed capsule aboard the Mercury Atlas V rocket. His mission? Complete 2 orbits around the Earth to test the spacecraft's systems and ensure that a human could endure the same journey. No pressure, right? Enos probably thought. This better come with frequent flyer miles. Enos's launch went smoothly, and he handled the G-forces like a pro. Once in orbit, he got straight to work. His tasks included pressing a lever in response to visual cues, a skill he'd mastered during training. For every successful action, he received a banana pellet. If he missed, he'd get a mild electric shock. NASA was basically running the world's highest stakes episode of Chimp Jeopardy, except instead of answering questions, Enos was playing a game of shock or snack. But then, things got complicated. About halfway through the mission, a malfunction caused one of the spacecraft's systems to send false signals. Enos began receiving shocks even when he performed tasks correctly. Imagine playing a video game where you keep losing points no matter what you do. And instead of a controller, it's your nerves getting zapped. Despite the error, Enos continued to perform his tasks with remarkable resilience. If he could talk, he'd probably say, seriously guys, can I at least get a tech support number up here? After nearly 3 hours in space and completing 1.5 orbits, Mission Control decided to bring Enos back early due to the technical issues. Re-entry was nerve-wracking, but Enos's capsule splashed down safely in the Atlantic Ocean. Recovery crews were on the scene quickly, and when they opened the capsule, there he was. Enos, alive, and looking less than thrilled about his adventure. Probably thinking, next time I'm booking first class. Enos's mission was a groundbreaking success. He proved that primates, and by extension humans, could handle the stresses of orbital flight. His data paved the way for John Glenn's historic mission just 3 months later, when Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth. So, in a way, Enos was the unsung hero behind one of NASA's biggest achievements. He didn't get the ticker tape parade, but he definitely earned a spot in the history books. And hey, maybe a lifetime supply of bananas too. After his mission, Enos was retired from the space program and lived out the rest of his days at a research facility. He didn't have the same media spotlight as Ham, but his contribution to space exploration was no less significant. Enos's story is a testament to the resilience and intelligence of these amazing primates who helped push the boundaries of what humanity could achieve. Let's face it, he worked harder in one day than most of us do in a week. So, what do you think of Enos's incredible journey? Let us know in the comments below, and if you're enjoying this series, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to Eco Era. It really helps us out, and it means we can keep bringing you more fascinating stories about our journey to the stars, and the animals who got us there first. Next time on Eco Era, we'll explore how a space exploration moved beyond animals and into the era of human astronauts. From Mercury to Apollo, it's going to be one giant leap of an episode. So stay curious, stay kind, and keep reaching for the stars. See you next time.